There are hundreds of millions of entrepreneurs in the world. Who are they? Why are they pursuing their own business? And most importantly, what can we learn from them? Hi, I'm Bill Sheng, your host of Meet Entrepreneurs, where I will take you to see some extraordinary entrepreneurs to hear them tell their own stories. Before I introduce our guest to you today, I'd like to thank our sponsor, ENTRISE, a unique online platform for global entrepreneurs to connect and conduct business together. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to grow your network and business home and abroad, this is the right place for you. To join, simply go to the link in the description of this video below. Our guest today is Katiya Xiong, an entrepreneur who is really passionate about being the voice that can influence people to connect for powerful results. Katiya, thank you for coming to our show. How are we doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me, Bill.
Great. You are one of the people that have a myriad of interest and a passion. You are artist, you are a professional speaker, you are industry insurance executive, and you are a connector. I mean, I can go on and on, but from deep inside of your heart, you see yourself as an entrepreneur and a connector. That is a voice, right? That can influence people to connect for powerful results. Tell us why.
Yeah, so I think it all starts from my personal passion. I've really defined my purpose, or as you call it, my personal vision. So in everything that I do in work and life, I try to align everything with living deeply. And so I start from there. So I think that I can relate to any human, any entrepreneur, any customer, if I can live deeply and also show them how I live deeply so that they can be more successful and whatever goals that they have, whether it be work or money. And so that's how I was able to just kind of come about with starting from my personal vision of living deeply. How can I make the impact with other entrepreneurs who are already on their own missions? And, I don't want to go and obviously add another layer to what they're already trying to do. I want to help and really be intentional and clear about that. And so I started experimenting, how did I become an entrepreneur? I think there's a lot of people out there that will call me a side hustler or a mompreneur or a solopreneur, but really, I think at the end of the day, becoming an entrepreneur is being innovative. Absolutely. And training yourself to think differently, which doesn't come through a book. I think it comes through experiences and also observing other people and their actions and their words and their character. And so through that, I think that's why a lot of people are kind of confused when they go and visit me on LinkedIn or they go and check out my personal website. And they're just wondering, are you a graphic designer? Are you a speaker? Do you write books? Are you a copywriter? What are you? Do you sell disability insurance?
Yeah, what's your identity? What's your identity at the first place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I chose to collect a broad skill set at a very young age because I feel that if I can learn and grab that knowledge deeply and practice it actively, not just learn about it and then forget about it, if I can practice it actively, working on side projects, I'd be able to benefit more entrepreneurs and connect people and businesses together for more powerful results if I can help them on what's their immediate pain point. I don't think it's disability insurance. I know that's obviously a very important topic, but I can see through my lens as an entrepreneur or as a business person that people are trying to find ways to do business better, to differentiate themselves. Mm-hmm. And so just this morning when I was driving to work, I saw a big billboard. It says, "We're a different kind of bank." That's all it says. And then it just had a maroon background, but that didn't help me. It didn't show me. And so I think, what I enjoy most about being an entrepreneur, that to your question is, definitely challenging other entrepreneurs to be creative and thoughtful and authentic in their services and products and really collaborate with other people like myself and even you on how we can drive together towards a common goal or mission so that we can all together and collectively achieve what we want.
How do you feel about this specific passion to be a voice that influence people to connect. So tell us a little bit more about your experience, your journey on this particular this live deeply, this passion.
Yes. So living deeply has been with me for a long time, but I didn't really quite understand how I could translate that to be a mission. And
Mhm.
so it took me a couple of years. So right when COVID came about in March of 2020, that was when I really kind of reflected back and said, I know I want to live deeply, but how do I do that? And so I know that it's important to be an influencer. I would like to be an influencer, but I didn't want to be the kind of influencer that would add noise because there's already so much information circulating online and everywhere. I
Yeah.
wanted to be an influencer that would focus on not producing too much content, but just one or two pieces of content a week, but that it would constantly build up so that eventually people will start to see and wonder, wow, she is actually giving away advice in that content. It's not really a clickbait to say, learn more and then schedule a
Yeah.
time with me. And so I think my journey, it really ended up with just testing the times of COVID on people and seeing how are they going to come to me? How can I attract them to me? Because there's so many people who are much smarter and wiser than me. But we're all different and unique in our own ways, I believe. And so I ended up watching and observing, attending a lot of webinars and podcasts, and becoming a speaker myself and hosting webinars. And I learned that because there is so much information out there, what's going to get to someone to talk to you is your genuine interest in them, and not just about reading their bio before you jump on a call with them. So do you have a true, genuine interest in who they are as a person and who they are in their working life to succeed or not? And how can I, through my broad skill sets, help them? And so every quarter since 2020, I came up with a plan. People call it a content plan, but I came up with a plan of, okay, I want to target these entrepreneurs in the fintech space, or I want to target these entrepreneurs who are book authors. But I would read their books and I would read the reviews and I would kind of figure out, okay, they're successful, but what's missing? And so it's the impact. And so I tried to, through every quarter, I would devise an idea. So like the headshots that people think I'm a graphic designer. Why am I selling headshots and why did I give away 300, 400, 500 in the last quarter? Well, that was to show them that this is definitely something different. It's not a headshot about me. And I'm not going to send you a mug or a t-shirt with my logo on it. I'm going to put you on there, but I'll let you know that I did send it to you and you can use it for your business and in your marketing. And I will show you how to use it and according to what I think would be meaningful so that you can win trust and respect and repeat business from your clients. And so with the headshots, people call it avatars or NFTs, but it really is a nice visual representation of people. And it's obviously not Simpson looking. So I think when I started doing that, people saw that I was really giving away something that I thought was thoughtful and user friendly. And if they didn't know how to use it, I would show them. And also same with, they would constantly come to me about advice. Well, what about this business solution for my operations? What do you think, Kat? Because I know you love technology. I know you design SharePoints. I know you're heavy into Office 365. I read somewhere that you were, heavy into being beta testers when Zapier came out, or when certain technologies and tools came out. You were always the first one jumping at even the bullet journal. So I, because I love testing technology and tools so much, that people started realizing that I was actually commenting on my true experience and giving them real advice from my experience, and obviously not calling anybody out. So I think that's kind of been, what works for me, and what's been most challenging is just speaking through to the audience, to the financial advisors, to the entrepreneurs, because I want to connect with every single person, whether I'm selling it or not. I think my vision is, to become the voice that connects people and businesses. Before I can do that, I would have to build a community that believes in me and supports me and trusts me. And obviously, I would return that back to them too. So I really nearly didn't care about followers, or I would intentionally send an invitation out to each person but I would study them for hours or weeks ahead and make sure I engage with them at an event that they're already at before I reach out and ask them to consider my invitation to be a part of their community. Yeah. And I think that's how my journey started to evolve from 300, 200 friends and families on LinkedIn to now 4,000 plus. And it's just amazing to see that, I'm just an average person, but people can see my journey and they can see the ideas that I give regularly through my posts, and not really just tagging famous people, but really speaking from the heart and from the experience. And really, every time someone reads my post, because I want them to come to me naturally and willingly, they can take away something that they can apply right now or share it with a team member or a friend or family.
Mm-hmm. Just want to let you know, I'm a fan of you on LinkedIn. I really like your LinkedIn profile headshot. It's really impressive. And someday I'm going to ask you to make one for me.
Well, actually, my goal is to make one for every single LinkedIn connection of mine. So I've only completed about 500. I still have 3,500 left. So you're definitely on the list, Bill.
Thank you so much. Can you please tell us a moment that you enjoyed the most as you started this journey?
Definitely, and will always be the connection, the engagement with people.
Yeah.
So, to me, being an entrepreneur, it's always a two-way or three-way street. But my mission is always to give first. But I think what I really enjoy the most is when it's well received and somebody actually says, "Thank you. Wow. This is the best gift, or this is a creative gift, or I've never received anything like this." Yeah. And you're not even asking for money, or you're not asking for me to do any business with you, Kat. So I think that is what I find the most rewarding and satisfying, is that even though I can't make big impacts, to people's lives or to businesses, and even though I can't change the world, I'm just one person. I'm a mom of 2 kids, and my husband's a stay-at-home dad. But I think that I can make little impacts in people's lives, and then over time, together and collectively, we'll be able to, as a team and community, make a big impact in the different beliefs that we have of shaping the world. And so I think that's what I find most enjoyable, is just being a part of a team, and helping them with their impact while they are also supporting me with my impact and believing in me as a person and as a businesswoman. And so that's definitely the most enjoyable, is that engagement and that connection, that it's just ongoing and it's just growing together, and getting old together like a married couple.
Yeah, I think you are making an impact. I have already seen that. You have been very active on LinkedIn. I like all the arts you created on LinkedIn, and I'm following you on LinkedIn every day. Now, tell us on the flip side. Tell us about the major challenges you have gone through. And how did you manage these challenges?
The challenges that I continue to face is the same question when I'm trying to do business: is how can I bring value, and real value that applies and can be used, and that is thoughtful. So that's something that I wake up and every day I'm constantly thinking about, and which I put through my posts. So that continues to be a challenge. The headshot is an idea, but there's so many people who are, workers and business owners, right? So I don't want to limit myself. That's why, I will continue to learn from even more people who are more successful than me. And even people who are recent graduates, they would teach me a lot too. And so I think my challenge is, for myself as well as the entrepreneurs that I collaborate with is, for example, I've been in the HR hat where, I've seen and I've also have terminated people, where I do sincerely care for people who are part of a company. And even after they leave, where I would reach out and ask them, how can I help you find a job? Or do you want me to look at your resume? And so, that's, to me, the challenge is to continue to evolve with people, because I want to grow my relationship with the human, with the person. Because people will move and change companies, and even entrepreneurs, they might change business ideas. They might be in one industry and move to the next. So I want to build that strong, trusted relationship with that person who is evolving and growing in life. And so that will continue to be a challenge of how I will think differently to continue to add to our partnership.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a team, or you work on this mission by yourself right now?
I actually have my son, who is much smarter than me. He's 7 years old. He's actually the one who gives me a lot of ideas.
Good.
So like the headshot idea was from an experience with him where he was learning at home during COVID and he was not happy. He was on Google Meeting and Zoom with his classmates and it was very blurry. And he said, "Wouldn't it be nice if we colored it, Mom? Don't you do something with graphic design, Mom?" And so I just thought, to heck, yes, let me help you. And so I drew his classmates and he says, "You should do that to your LinkedIn community, Mom, because I know you're always on there and you care about them just like I care about my friends." And so I think my son has obviously made me a better thinker. It allows me to think differently. But yes, it's just me. I'm one person, and I'm not looking to like build an empire. My goal is to be the voice and echo what other entrepreneurs are already doing, all the good work that they're doing, and kind of build a coalition together without actually making it a legal coalition. But just really beautiful engagements throughout and temporary projects that we can work on together.
Yeah, what you do takes a lot of time. For example, that headshot, the LinkedIn headshot. I don't know how long did it take you to get it done, but I assume it takes a little time, right?
It definitely takes, for my headshot, that's the purple me. That took me, I think it took me about half a day.
Oh yeah, a lot of time.
But for all the ones that I've been giving away, it takes me about an hour to do it for people. I think my headshot it's obviously more of my emotions, where I put the red on my eyes because that represents life and love from what I've experienced through with my sister-in-law who passed from breast cancer. And so I will constantly remember that when I see like the red near my eyes on that picture. And purple, just because I think purple represents sadness, which is also, I think, really good feelings to motivate people too, that it's not always about happiness and excitement. And certainly don't be too sour and depressed. But I think I drew that picture to kind of just represent who I am as a human and as a connector, more so than as a businesswoman. But yeah, it is definitely who I am more than anything.
Yeah, it is time consuming because you don't want to. The picture is a picture, but you want to get a message across from that headshot, right? It's really the meaning behind the picture. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Just like with any product and service, I mean, I think even though it's not artwork, for example, like disability insurance, right? Or if you're selling shoes, that is artwork, because you think about the journey that it takes for someone to find the right insurance plan and the underwriters that go and review medical records, right? That itself is a journey and artwork to me. So I think in my lens, everything is artwork. Even shoes, right? Expensive or inexpensive shoes, Louis Vuitton bags. It's a whole process, and it takes a lot of people's, coming together to make that. And so, yes, definitely artwork. Wherever I look is artwork. Period.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have any advice to other entrepreneurs?
I do. So obviously, I am heavy into just speaking from my perspective, whether people agree or not. And so, I think I would have appreciated discovering or learning about this sooner. But there's a lot of emphasis out there about being so great. Back to the question about who do you want to be when you grow up, when you're little, right? And that's a question that we continue to ask ourselves as we, graduate from college, even if we, got the best grades, or as we become an attorney or a doctor and we move up the corporate ladder. I think the advice that I want to give entrepreneurs is, knowing who you are first, what your personal vision and mission is, what your purpose is, and trying to define on that, because it doesn't end, it just keeps on evolving. So that's my advice, is that let it evolve and embrace it, because if you can understand what your purpose is, I think it's going to help you become a better entrepreneur and provide better customer service. And also my second advice is, don't look at life too far along the road. Don't look at huge successes that's not yours. So for example, I always had a tough time, comparing myself to, influence that I adore and absolutely love, like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Sarah Blakely, right? And
Yeah.
so I know they have massive success and they earn it and they deserve it, but it was just so hard for me to resonate my journey with them. And so what I ended up doing was I looked at smaller entrepreneurs, like the mompreneurs, right? Or the people who work part-time trying to start their business while they had a day job. Or like I think I mentioned to you previously, the person who wants to open the food truck business. And so when I kind of scaled back, I realized that it was a lot about starting up, just getting it out there, and also making sure that you're focusing on incremental success. And that 10 years from now, I want to make 10 million. It's more like 1 year from now, I want 10 customers. 1 quarter from now, I want 1 good customer. And 6 months from now, I want to make a profit finally. And so I think understanding those short-term goals and really working strategically and tactically towards it, and celebrating the incremental success every month, every week. I think that's what's going to get you like over the hurdle. And then finally one day, before you know it, you will be that person who is a millionaire. And so I think, that's the challenge that I myself went through, and I didn't realize that sooner. But I've already overcome that now. So thank goodness, not yet 40. So, but that would be my advice is, definitely, focus on what resonates and what's closest to what you can grab. But that doesn't mean you don't dream big. You can dream big. It just means you want to focus your energies and efforts on, what's, ahead, down the road or around the block versus, the 10-year picture.
Yeah. Good. These are all good advices. I'm an entrepreneur myself, so I agree with what you said. I think, you have to start something with a purpose. The purpose defines your action, right? Without the purpose, you will easily get lost along the road, right? So thank you, Katiya, so much for again coming to our show and share your stories with our audience. I really appreciate that, and good luck with your business.
Thank you so much, Bill, for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Meet Entrepreneurs. To learn more about our guest Katiya and her work, simply connect her on ENTRISE by go to the link in the description of this video below. If you're an entrepreneur interested in telling your story, you may connect me on ENTRISE too. Again, I'm your host, Bill Sheng. Thank you, and hope to see you in our next episode soon.